Rick Without the K James presents, in my opinion, podcast.
One of the things I wanted to talk about real quick, kind of on this subject, but you kind of alluded to it, knowing someone's language, knowing what you do to impress them. Well, see, I say this, there's an old saying about do unto others as you would want done unto you. Well, the thing about this is I don't really believe in that, because like if we were dating and she brought me a pack of wrenches or a electric screwdriver, I'd be happy as hell. But she'd probably knock the piss out of me if I bought her that, if I brought her home a bunch of wrenches. And if she brought me, like she said she liked flowers. If a woman brought me flowers, I would be like, thank you for the gesture. You know what I mean? I would be really appreciative, but they wouldn't do anything for me. So how do you know what to do for somebody?
You just said do what you would like done to you, right?
Do unto others as you would like done unto you. But do you do that? Because understand, like, let's say you decide, oh, I'm going to fix him a nice meal. Would you fix the meal he wants, or would you fix the meal you want? If you're doing for them, you do. So what I'm saying is, if you decide to do something romantic, like for Valentine's Day, maybe your perfect Valentine's Day is buy me flowers, get me some candy, take me out to dinner. But that might not be romantic for him. So how do you determine what's romantic for him? For your
Give
partner?
him the booty at the end. Bam. There.
Yeah, and
I wasn't gonna let that part slide.
But it's funny as that is, it's sad, but men are that goddamn easy, right? If a woman just says,
Well, we talked about it on the way here. I said, when a man does all that, do you feel obligated to have to end up giving him
Good
some booty
question.
at the end?
And what did I tell
And
you?
she goes-
I'm looking at my phone and just put it down and go, no, I'm not obligated to do anything. No.
She said, no, he's lucky.
No.
What'd you say? No, you went on and he's lucky. He got the
Oh,
opportunity to
that's
take me on
because
the
you
date.
said something. You're like, oh, something about being a cute girl. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll go off that. Yeah, you were lucky if I fucking respond to you. You're lucky I didn't ghost your ass. You're lucky you're talking to me. Whatever. You should feel lucky or thankful.
Arrogant
But if
bitch.
the vibes are just as good from you as they are from me, then fuck, I'm lucky to be hanging out with you as well.
So have you ever had a night that was very romantic and you guys ended up not doing something at the end? And it was just like, man, but those are one of those memorable nights where, like,
Where you just lay and cuddle, or you watch a movie and go home and go to sleep type thing?
yeah.
Maybe, but it probably wasn't my choice.
Wasn't your choice?
So how about
I'm
you?
being real honest.
Let's go right
I
into the
have
next subject.
a really high sex drive. Not a lot of women do. I actually really just talked to some of my girlfriends about this. I usually have guy friends, so having girlfriends to talk to about things is really new. It's really nice. But a lot of them don't feel like they want to be doing something every night, or they have partners and they're not super
We know,
attracted
we're
to
older.
them.
We date those
You
guys.
understand that,
Yeah.
whatever. Well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been with somebody that, like, if I'm like emotionally connected to you, it takes a while to get there. So then it's like, there has to be that physical aspect for me, and like for me, that's like always there too.
So after you've been in a relationship for a while and you guys are feeling each other, what's your normal number for the week then? Once a week?
It depends on how many days a week I see you. Because it's probably going to
'cause
happen
you've
more
only
than
lived
once
with one person,
at that
right?
time, you know?
Because you've only lived with one person, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah,
that
so
and that
you
was like
better-
the worst relationship ever. That was me begging to have sex and never ever getting it. So that was horrible circumstances. Worst.
Because he
Don't
was
even
gay,
bring that up.
obviously.
So-
He's a dumb fuck. That's what it was.
So for
Oh,
you,
God.
how? And one more thing, and then we're going to change the subject. But how do you determine how you're going to be romantic? Is it you just think of something in your head, or do you try to base it around your partner?
No, I want to say that's where I, unlike most men, want to be a good listener. I think when I meet a girl, I'm trying to figure her out like a puzzle as fast as possible. And I'm trying to figure out what makes her happy, what makes her wheels turn. I'm trying to figure out which love language she is, so I can address it and give her what she wants. I think when it comes to romance, it's fairly easy for a man, but we don't see it. We because we're not raised that way. We're not raised. My mom and my dad, they go at it where they've been together almost 30 years, and you can ask my dad a simple question like, "What's her favorite color?" and he still wouldn't know. You know what I mean? And I think like most dudes, because we feel like we only have to be a provider, that's all we gotta do. But hopefully with like a younger generation, hopefully you guys don't see that shit. And it's all about listening and being in tune with that person and then giving them what they want. You know, I asked my coworkers too, and that's why I brought it up about younger, because I work with people about my age, and they were like, oh, being romantic is when he takes out the garbage and I don't have to ask him, or he plays with our kids and takes them to batting practice and I don't have to ask him, or...
You know, I've actually heard women say around my age and even like in their 30s that the most romantic thing their husband does for them is do the dishes. And I have read that it will actually turn a woman on if she doesn't have to do the dishes and don't have to work. I just found that crazy.
I hate doing the fucking dishes. If I just,
So
if I
your
just
man-
slaved away and like made a meal for you, and I get up to like put my dishes away, and I see you already at the sink scrubbing shit, got your sleeves rolled up, maybe cleaning, I'm like,
So would that make you want to take care of
I've
him?
got some free time right now. What am I gonna do?
All right. Okay.
Something more comfortable.
When I'm somewhat comfortable.
I mean,
Nice.
but you hear that, and I've heard that and read that, and it just blows my mind that, I mean, I guess women are busy and working their ass off nowadays, just like us, so I guess they've got to the point where they don't want to do that, and they appreciate it. You talk about being romantic. I think being romantic is fairly easy. I think time and attention is very important, and don't think with your dick. Don't think about you. Don't think about just getting laid. Seriously. Use this hand, not the other one.
She's over there drilling on you.
The reason I say this is because for guys, foreplay for us is, look, honey, I've got a hard on, right? That, for us, it's that easy. But I believe for women, it's time.
For some women, it's that easy too.
Is that your
These are donated from friends of the show. So a minute ago you were talking about having a high sex drive, but I wanted Rick to introduce this next topic, and the reason I wanted to is because you have a different take on this as far as sex toys.
I just wanted to talk about sex toys a little bit, because next episode we're gonna have a couple more females here, and we'll probably talk about it again. And first off, I don't understand when you go in a sex shop. Men really have like two things. We get plastic dolls, and then some kind of apparatus that you put over your cock and then jerk it off anyways, right? So you might as well just use your hand. But females, you go into a sex store and you guys have aisles and aisles of shit, right? So I was like, what the fuck do you need all that for? And then we had texted you about it, where we were like, hey girl, we're gonna get you a Lilo and we're gonna let you try it out, because this
It's
is
still
like
shipping, by the way. These are not mine.
Yeah. So we're gonna get you this clitoral fucking stimulating supersonic ultrasound fucking pink thing, right? Like it's supposed to be like as a woman.
Oh, don't get it out. We're not touching it.
Okay, we're not touching it.
It's supposed to be like this whole put some chucks underneath you. As medical people would say, they're called chucks, the little blue pads, because you're gonna squirt and fucking go crazy with it. So, you know, where I've never used one. I've always used the regular vibrator or some shit with the woman that I'm with. But I said, would you try it out for us and do that? But I bring it up because you also hear women jokingly be like, well, you can't do what my vibrator does. Bitch, because I don't go 8,000 RPMs a minute, bitch. And I don't have a dick that rotates 360 degrees, so you're right. I can't keep up with that shit.
Okay, like 1% of women own a fucking dildo that rotates 360 degrees. So So what?
So let's start with
So,
you then.
I just don't agree with.
Do you have any toys?
Yes, I have 2.
You have 2.
Yes, they're both vibrators.
And that's...
They're pretty much exactly the same. I just have 2 because I suck at charging them.
First of all, let's talk about your question you have.
So,
Why do we have so few and they have so many?
but I don't agree with that. Because there are tons of different kinds of fleshlights. They feel differently inside. There are just a bunch of different kinds of fleshlights. Just because they are the same thing doesn't count because there are so many different kinds of vibrators. But they are vibrators essentially. So there might be very many different brands. Like there are very many different brands of fleshlights. There are literally also like half torsos of asses for men to fuck. You can't admit that that's not a thing. I've seen those. They are at sex stores. Maybe you're just not going to like the right sex stores. Because if you go to the one here in town,
Yeah, like
it's
a
actually
blow up
gross.
doll
Like,
or like the
yeah, there are
rubbery...
blow-up
Yeah.
dolls too. There are multiple different kinds of blow-up
Right.
dolls, and there are actual like sex dolls that are like $1,000. Like
Yeah. But I can tell you right now...
those are men's toys. I tell you right fucking now, a woman does not have a sex doll.
I can tell you, I've never owned one, nor would I want to. I'm not gonna spend my money on that shit when I got hands that do it for free.
Okay, but there are also so many male sex toys. Just because you're not into ass play means that they might not be that many options for you. You're excluding yourself. There are lots of males out there into that. Just say it.
You better say we're excluding.
I can't.
Because I saw it. She's like,
he just heard ass
face
play
like
and was
kind of
like,
like, oh fuck. When I said ass play, he was just like, not me.
Ronnie's like 1 or 3 fingers.
We talked about how he grew up in a generation where gayness was just super like, no, you know?
Right. I have one good joke, and it's a serious thing. Had a buddy that for years kept telling his wife that he wanted, you know this story,
Yeah.
wanted to get her in the ass.
Oh yeah.
And she kept telling him, you know, and he'd joke about it all the time, you know. And so one day for Christmas, she bought him, it was this dildo, but it had this leather strap onto it. And he's like, I don't need the strap on. She goes, no, that's for me, to strap it on me. He goes, well, why'd you give it to me? She says, because I'm going to give you your dream of doing me in the rump, but I get to do you first. And she said, if it's that important to you, I get to do you first. There's no way, sweetie, we'd never be able to do, you know, because that's just, I couldn't understand why. I don't even know how to explain this. I'm out of words. I mean, but you look at the size of some of those dildos that they have, you know, and like when I went to the store one time, they have so
Black
many
Thunder.
hundreds of different things that women can buy. The rabbits for the clitoris, the G-spot vibrators, the ones that go in the anus and the thank you, Vanna, and you know, all this type of stuff. There is no way I would have a partner
She's off with the
stick.
goddamn logo.
There's-
Jesus Christ.
There's no way I'd let a woman stick one of those in my ass. There's no way. I don't care what. I don't even know how to explain it.
Maybe that to it in itself, folks, is the answer to our question. Why are there so many more sex toys for women? But
There
maybe
aren't.
just because we're more open.
You're more open.
You're
to
more
what you're
open
saying.
sexually.
Also, we're also
You know how many
we're
times
all
I've
so
taken a
different.
female
Last time you
to
know
buy her first fucking sex toy though, and then when you get them on that shit, they're like, oh, they.
So, like, why did she need that sex toy? There was probably a problem underlying in there
No.
somewhere.
No.
Yes.
Maybe I don't want to work as hard, goddammit. You think of that? I'm old, alright? I'm not fucking 21, 22.
What?
I work with them.
Remember last time we were at the bar and we were joking around and you showed me this meme. It was about a bunch of different kinds of.
What?
Vaginas.
Oh, vaginas.
I remember,
Right, yeah,
I remember
Yes.
the picture. It was a
And
wall
you're
of
like,
vaginas.
man,
Yes.
a lot of these are fucked up. And I was like, wow, I'm trying not to be judgmental. I mean, like, some of these are cute. But look at how many different vaginas there are. That's a lot of different
yeah.
clips. We need a lot of different toys because a lot of different shit's gonna feel different to some of us.
Oh yeah, and I believe there's 3 type of women, right? There's the one that you can have a 12-inch dick, but she don't get off on nothing but her clit. And then there's ones that they only need vaginal play, right? That they don't give a fuck if you're the best. If what do I call it? Trying to get rid of swimmer's ear. You know, when you just down there, just
Motorboat?
like fucking motorboat.
Yeah.
You do that all goddamn day till you can't talk, right? On some women, you come up and be like, "You have a gun," and they don't give a fuck because they need a big ass dick in them, right? And then you got the ones that know that they need both. So you kind of have to figure that out. So that's why when I say I go get these toys, because we gonna figure this shit out, bitch. Like, I ain't got time to be sitting there playing, okay? I'm old, my blood sugar's dropping and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Put the fan on me after about 15 minutes. So,
working as a nurse, I've worked with a lot of gay people, and I worked with a really nice couple, that lesbian couple, and I remember them saying to me one time that they had both been with men before, or earlier in life, and they said the thing that they hated the most about men, that a sexual encounter for them rotated around a man's penis, and once he was done, the romance was over. And if women are together, they can keep going. They can, break out the toys, do other things, and all that type of stuff. But a lot of men, once they're done, they check out. I mean, why do they want to sit there and play with you for 2 hours if they're done? And that's the attitude of some people. I do think that would help men with toys. I think that would help men a lot to get into the toys, to not just be about just me and my penis, to be about other things you can do for her. I think that would be very helpful.
I think it's awkward when a man wouldn't let his woman have a toy. You know what I mean? And I don't mean like but when a man feels like he's inferior to a toy.
Uncomfortable?
Like oh my God, what? Where I purposely want to take her shopping for the toy because I want to know what kind of fucking freak I'm with. You know what I mean? Because if you walk in there and you're like Black Thunder, I'm like, okay, bitch. Well, now it's gonna be like throwing a hot dog down the hallway. So I know where this is going. You know what I mean? Like if you pull out some weird ass shit, I'll be like, oh damn.
You just won an analogy the other night, by the way.
That's all I'm saying. Like, have you gone shopping when you went and picked up your toys? Did you go by yourself? Did you go with friends or girlfriends, males?
The couple times that I've been to a sex store, I went with a boyfriend one time, and then the other time I went with my friend because she had never owned a vibrator. I needed to change this girl's life real fast. And I did. I helped her out. But it's so funny that you just mentioned that, like, some men don't like them girlfriends to have that because she has her vibrator now and she loves it, but he doesn't like it. And if she wants to bring it out during their time together, he gets a little weird about it. And it's like, why? If it's just amplifying her experience, why is it bothering you? Because obviously they've been together for a while. Obviously you guys are having sex and she wants to keep having that sex, so she's enjoying it. So why not just amplify it for her a little bit? Why does that make you insecure?
That's why I'll break them out.
I don't get this insecurity.
I think the way a guy should look at it, instead of thinking it's competing with his penis or, man, she likes that more than me, is consider it an extended way to play with her. And because, to me, a woman's body is beautiful. And so I like to lay it down and say, okay, what can I do to this? Touch it, stroke it, love it, kiss it, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be just about sex. What? Why are you looking so weird? But I mean, there's other things to do. So break out the toys and play. What did I say? Something?
Touch it, stroke it. I was thinking.
Oh.
I was like, no.
Well, I'm talking about her body, and
my back.
But I mean, if you look at it as an extension or something for you, like we talked about, the unicorn last time.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of thinking it's you versus this or you versus that, it's something you're doing together. You're both using, and then I think it would be more cohesive.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out next episode
When we talk about
how the Lilo makes you feel, and then I believe we'll have 2 other females on here, and then we'll discuss it again on
we'll talk about
different topics.
Yo, it's your boy Charlie Murphy, my main man Rick James. That's the one you think, the comedian Rick James. Get up on him.